Hello there. Morning. Welcome to Leadership Monday. This is Leadership Monday, and this is the session where we deliver to you a nugget or two to help leadership. All right. Okay, then. Sorry for that brief technical issue. All right. This is Leadership Monday. My name is Olatunji Shobodu, and I'm your anchor, for Leadership Monday. And today I'll be speaking on as the subject of the dangers of delegation. The dangers of delegation. Actually, I just want to focus on one danger. And this is a very interesting, very popular aspect of leadership, the concept of delegation. Everyone um, who has been a student of leadership understands or has come across the subject of delegation. All right. But, delegation is so popular. At the same time, it is prone to failure. It actually fails in the hands of many leaders. And what do we mean by failure? Failure here is used to express the fact that leaders engage delegation with a purpose in mind, with an objective in mind, but they seldom realize that objective. All right. There are people who don't come through, all right, showing that the delegation has served its purpose in their lives, in their work. And it's often a puzzle for many leaders. So leaders struggle with delegation. Actually, they struggle with different dimensions of delegation, but I think it's fair to say that um, the bottom line with their struggles is that they fail to get the desired results. Why does delegation fail in the hands of leaders, and what is the solution? Why does delegation fail in the hands of leaders, and what is the solution? So you must already be aware that, given our focus, what we are saying to leaders is that delegation is not a silver bullet. The fact that you delegate does not mean that you would succeed. The fact that you delegate does not mean that you would realize the purpose of your leadership. The fact that you delegate gives you an opportunity to succeed, but you need to understand more than the popular sayings about delegation to avoid what I call the dangers of delegation. Was the danger of delegation. The danger of delegation in this sense means something that you have planned to add value to the lives of your people, but it turns out to cause a different problem entirely. Indeed, to put their success at risk, to put their ability to emerge from your supervision as bona fide leaders at risk. That's what we're talking about, when we mention the issue of dangers of delegation, why delegation fails. And you would see why, it is dangerous, or it can be dangerous to invoke delegation without having a deep understanding of certain aspects of it. It's very easy, but it's prone to failure. Many fail when they engage it, and they wonder why. but I'll show you why. And I want to use as our custom is because at Leadership, Emet Leadership Academy, our focus is on nurturing leaders based on truth. And truth for us is found in the Word of God. So I'm going to draw an experience, a clear delegation encounter. You know, I'm going to use it to convey the core lesson here, to point out the danger and to show you how to avoid it. And you can find that if you would read the delegation scenario painted in Luke chapter 10, and it runs from from verse 1 to 17. What happened there? You had here the head of a team of 12 who called his team members and delegated his assignment to them. All right. He told them, go to different locations and do what I would normally do, what I am built to come there to do, and go there and do it on my behalf, pending when I show up. All right. That's delegation. He gave them responsibility. All right. And he sent them out in pairs. Okay. And the mandate was clear. And he gave them additional instructions so that they will be properly guided. And that's something that everyone who wants to know how to delegate needs to pay attention. And then a very important aspect of that delegation effort is that he gave them power and authority. He gave them power and authority. So he didn't just give them the task. He didn't just define the task. However clearly the task may have been defined, he understood that the task, in order for them to perform the task well, according to his expectation, the way the task should be performed, they needed to be given power and authority. They needed power and authority. Lesson number two. So you don't just delegate function with clarity, you also ensure that the authority and the power that is required to deliver, to accomplish that task is given. All right. You must. Because if you don't, then you are playing games. Why? Because as a leader, you understand that in order for you to achieve your mandate, power is required, authority is required. So please let no one fool you henceforth that leaders don't lead based on authority or power. Without it, you can't get anything done. You can check a recent series that I did in that regard. But the issues of authority has to do with misuse of authority and power. All right. And I said a couple of things in that regard. So this was the scenario. This is the scenario we're looking at. Now let's fast forward. So how did it go? How did this delegation effort go? By the way, this was Jesus who delegated to members of his team. All right. They were still under his control. They were still under his supervision and tutelage. They were being prepared to become successful leaders like himself. The same set of people that he said to them, you know, you will do greater works than I have done. All right. So a lot was at stake. A lot is usually at stake when you embark on delegating your function. All right. Or aspects of it to members of your team. Now, so they went out, and then when they came back, they then had to give him a report. So, how did it all go? He asked them. And then they started reporting. But something was very funny and very strange in their reporting. When they were reporting, they were very excited. As far as they were concerned, they had fulfilled the purpose, all right, of the delegation effect. I mean, you know, a gesture. They had accomplished, they thought they had accomplished what the master wanted. And so they came back and said, look, We got results. What were the results? Said even the demons were subject to us in your name. All right. That is, I mean, what did he ask them to go and do? He said, go ahead, all right, and heal and preach. uh, All right, and cast out demons and all of that. Oh, yes. So that's it. The same content you and I would give to our people. Yes, is not to cast demons, is to get one thing done or the other, is to get one report prepared or the other, is to get one analysis done or the other. It's pretty much the same. And so they came back and they were excited that, look, we got the job, you know, we got the job done. Why was the excitement about, oh, even the demons were subject to us in your name? That is, we exercised that power and authority that you gave us. We saw that power and authority work wonders. We saw it. I mean, they didn't have the authority and the power. They were given in order to enable them accomplish their task. But when they came back, that was what blew their mind. That was what they took notice of. That was what they focused their attention on. They were excited because of the use of authority, because of the efficacy of power. They were excited because they came back and saw themselves as powerful men. And so, as far as they were concerned, their job was done. Therein lies the danger that when you delegate to your people and you remember to give them the power and authority they need to get the job done, they will come back to you with excitement because of how the authority worked, because of how the power worked. They haven't tasted it before. Now they are tasting it. Now they know what it means to have power. Now they know what it means to use authority. And so that's what they will focus their attention on. But therein lies the danger, because whenever they focus their attention on the use of their power, on what authority accomplished for them, they have missed the point of delegation. Delegation is not for the purpose of experiencing what power and authority can do. It is for the purpose of adding value to the lives of people. So, what transpired when they gave that report? They said, wow, we did great things. We demonstrated power. The opposition and the obstacles were overcome. And then the master said to them, he said, that's fantastic. I am not surprised because I know what power can do. I know what authority can do. I've been using it. I know the place of power and authority. That's why I gave it to you. But you are missing the point. You are missing the point. It said, the point is not for you to come and report to me what power can do. The point is that I was expecting you to report to me how you added value to the lives of the people. I would have been happier if your excitement was about the value you added to people, not what power and authority accomplished in your hands. I don't know if you got that distinction. Very crucial distinction. If he left them with, oh, this is what power and authority did. We overcame obstacles. We shut down opposition. We accomplished, all right, with power and authority, what you wanted us to do. If that was all that they saw or they got from delegation, they missed the point of delegation. And then delegation would have failed in the hand. of the leader. But we have a leader here who understood exactly the purpose of delegation, who understood how to use delegation to get the right results, and who was quick to point out to them something that typically your people, subordinates, will miss when you give them responsibility along with authority and power. And that's the fact that the trap of power is what they may be consumed by. The focus on what power did in their hands, as distinct from how they use power to add value to the lives of the people. The value is not in the use of power, because power has the ability to corrupt and to corrupt absolutely. And that's not the making of true leaders, because true leaders know how to use power. They know when to use power. They know the place of power. They don't get excited because they command power. They get excited by what they are able to use power to accomplish in the lives of people. A very important distinction. It's dangerous when you delegate and you don't pay attention to the experience of your people from the exercise of the power and authority that you delegated to them. So it's not just necessary to ensure that when you give responsibility, you delegate power and authority that is required to get the job done. Power and authority will always be required to get any job done if you are truly delegating your responsibility, part of your responsibility. All right? Then power, part of your power and authority must also be given. Otherwise, you are already compromising the ability of your subordinate to get your job, to get that job done. But the fact that you gave the task, the fact that you also delegated part of the requisite responsibility and power is not sufficient. Now you must pay attention to their experience in the use of power. You must pay attention to the excitement. What excites them? Is it what power and authority accomplished in their hands, or is it the value that they added to the lives of people? All right? The leader, a good leader, for you to have the right kind of successors, for delegation to work in your hands and not to pose a danger to your people, you must pay attention and you must help them to see the ultimate purpose of delegation, which is value addition, not demonstration of power. They're two different things. If they stay with demonstration of power, they will miss the ultimate of value addition. If they stay with demonstration of power, they would be exposed to the corruption effects of power. And that means that they can never be true successors. Why? Because they won't know if they, if they come out from under your supervision and they have access to power and authority, they are going to misuse it. They're going to misuse it. That's the danger. And you would have succeeded. Your work on them would have amounted to nothing, because that vital aspect of learning or showing them the place of power and authority, you failed to accomplish that. You failed to accomplish that. Jesus said to them, He said, I saw Satan fall like lightning. So I understand. I saw the effect. He said, but let me tell you, don't get excited by that, the demonstration of power. He said, focus on ensuring that your name is written in heaven. Can you see the distinction? What is the value? Power is not given as an end in itself. Power is not given so that you can use it to benefit yourself. Power, like a gift, is given so that you can use it to serve the interest of people. That is a fundamental lesson on leadership, and it can make a difference on whether or not delegation succeeds in the hand of a leader, and on whether or not leadership is effective. I hope you got that message. That's what I'd like to leave with you today on Leadership Monday. And so I hope that as you handle this strategy of delegation, you learn to use it properly. You focus on what is important. You avoid the failings and the failure that is the experience of other leaders. And you enhance your ability to serve the true purpose of leadership and to produce successors who would go ahead to do greater things that you can do than you can do, and to handle power and authority for the true purpose as leaders. I think it's a profound nugget that you are receiving today, that we're focusing on and discussing today. And I hope that it has helped to expand your understanding of delegation and of what leadership truly entails, and also your ability to do leadership right. So, once again, it's been Leadership Monday. My name remains Olatunji Shobodu, and I have been your anchor, and we have been discussing why delegation fails and what is the solution. And I hope this has been beneficial to you. Please feel free and subscribe if you have not subscribed, to the channel. Express your comments as well. Give me a feedback. Let me know that you are hearing and this is of value to you. And you may want to suggest one or two areas where you would like me to speak to, and I'll consider and do that, over the course of the next editions. And if you do need support or help in any area of leadership, or you want to prepare yourself, for higher leadership responsibility, or people, that you believe have that need, feel free. In the description area, you will see different programs, different ways that we can help. And you'd also find details of how you can reach out to me. I'll be glad to help. Our calling is to help develop leaders. And we develop leaders based on truth. Based on truth. That's the assurance that we have, that what we teach works. What we teach works. Once again, I thank everyone who has joined, who has taken the time to join this morning. And I want to, wish you well and pray that this week shall mark great progress in your walk in the name of Jesus Christ. Meet me again on Thursday. On Thursday is Leadership in 30 Minutes. And we'll be looking at something else. We'll be spending more time, than we do typically on Mondays. And I do believe that, it would be an interesting time, to be a worthwhile investment for you. And I look forward to hearing from you the great strides that you're achieving in your leadership role. Once again, God bless you and enjoy a wonderful, fruitful week. Bye-bye.